Hey, Crossroads. So this year we are teaching through the 7 C's, or in other words, the 7 characteristics of a Christ follower. Years ago, we set our mission at Crossroads that Crossroads exists to reach people for Christ, helping them become fully devoted followers of Christ who impact their world. And we wanted to kind of better define what a fully devoted follower of Christ looks like. So the 7 C's were developed, or 7 areas that we think a fully devoted follower of Christ is growing in. Now, everyone's path is different. Like, no one is going to take the exact same path of growth, but really the goal is growth. But we think these 7 C's are good areas for all of us to, be growing in. These hopefully point us in the right direction of growth. So today is our first one, and they don't go in matter of importance, just kind of a list. And the first one is participating in corporate worship. You see, we believe that following Jesus was never meant to be an individual thing. It's a group thing. It's a community thing. Let's read what the author of Hebrews says in Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near. I love the way this begins. Let us think of ways to motivate one each other towards acts of love. Now that is a great picture of a church, isn't it? A group of people motivating each other towards acts of love, a group of people going to find one person to share God's love with. I mean, come on, let's go. Bible commentator David Gusick puts it this way. I'm going to read his notes. He says, some people go to church if they feel they need it at the time. But our motivation for gathering as a group must be to obey God and give to others. We can and should gather with believers to encourage someone who needs to stand strong against a tide of discouragement. He says we gather for 5 reasons. We gather to receive from God. We gather to give to God. We gather to encourage one another with our shared faith and our shared values. We gather to bless one another, and we gather to work together. You see, church is not an event that we go to. Church is not a service that we attend once in a while. Church is people. Church is us. And we need to gather together. Our founding pastor, Scott Winstead, used to say this. He would say, you can be a Christian and not go to church, but not an obedient Christian. And now I'm sure a lot of you are thinking right now, like, well, I watch online. Does that count? Like, yes, I am so thankful that we have online church and digital options. I think it's great. And I often debate in my head, like, how much of the in-person experience do you get when you watch at home? And honestly, I have no idea. Like, is it 50%? Is it 85%? I'm sure for a lot of my fellow introverted friends, you're like, it's 150%. It's way better. Like, I have no idea. And if you watch online, that's great. Keep it up. That's great. But we also need to find some time and some space where we can meet together with other believers. It's important that we fill that bubble in the relationship grid, that church friend bubble. It is so vital for our health that we all have that bubble full. That's why here at Crossroads, one of our values is participating in corporate worship. I mean, your personal worship time is also so important. Please, 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 please continue to grow in that. But there's just something, and I can't explain it, but there's just something powerful about worshiping God together. Being in a room full of people who are all worshiping God together, that shared experience, it's just one of those things about being a follower of Jesus that you can't really explain it until you experience it. That's why gathering together, it's important. So the 7C this month that we are all trying to grow in, participating in corporate worship. And remember, we are in the growth business. So wherever you're at, let's take a step of growth. Whether it's this, whether it's something else, maybe it's your personal worship time you need to grow in. That's between you and God. All I know is we are in the growth business, and I can't wait for us all to grow together. Love you guys. Be on the lookout next month for our next video on the next 7C. Can't wait to worship together.